I hope you're ready.
This is Unbridled Thoughts.
We want to hear what you have to say.
All right.
Hello.
Hey, welcome back to Unbridled Thoughts. This is Sarah.
And I'm Ren. And you better grab the mane because there are no reins in Unbridled Thoughts. We're about to go, go, go.
Go, go, go. So what a weekend we had.
I know. It was so exciting.
Exciting and adventurous. Of course, Sarah always has to bring the drama.
I love it.
Right before we're about to leave, an hour late, pipes are broken, kitchen's flooding.
Nothing wrong with that. You own a home. You run a business. You're an employer. You own your house. You own your land.
Yep.
I mean, you're self-reliant, and that's what happens when you are a person that owns things. You have to fix the things.
I just went ahead and turned off the water, cleaned up as much as I could, and left.
Yeah, because your pipe broke right before we left for our trip.
Literally right before we left. We were supposed to be leaving. Busted pipe. Water everywhere.
That's life, though. That's how life goes. It really is.
On my fixer-upper. So, meanwhile, it expedited my kitchen renovation. That's what we're focusing on now. But let's get to the good stuff.
We went to Dollywood. It's in the Smoky Mountains, Dollywood. We did. We went to Dollywood. It was awesome.
It was my first time. It was my kid's first time. Ren has been before. She's an old expert. And we had a blast. It was like the perfect day to go.
Yeah.
Because it was raining. Not raining enough to where they just closed the place down, though. Just, and not raining enough to ruin our moods. Just raining just enough to where nobody else wanted to go but us.
Yeah, they were like, they looked at the sky and they were like, no.
Not today, Satan.
The sky looked like a drippy nose. Like, it's either going to pour down raining.
Yeah.
It might mist. It's somewhere in between. Don't know. Don't want to mess around with it. And then it was, Georgia had already had their spring break.
Yeah. No, we were on spring break.
That's why Georgia was on spring break.
We just started.
That's right.
We just started.
Georgia's spring break had just started. So we were a little nervous going because we're like, this place is going to be packed. Tight. And then we got there, we realized that Tennessee had had their spring break already.
Yeah.
And it had just tied up.
I don't know about that necessarily, but I will say nobody wanted to go in the rain but us. So we were able to just walk on the rides. We went on rides, double rides sometimes. We rode rides together for the very first time.
It was a friendship first. We've never ridden like roller coasters together before. It was so much fun.
So much fun. I highly recommend Dollywood. I mean, what was your favorite part?
So I feel like there's parts that I should say are my favorite part for different parts of me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So part of me loved this. They called it a show, but it really was a museum. Yeah. And I think it was the first thing we did. And you walk in and they have these iconic photos. It's almost it's almost like a Hard Rock Cafe / kind of like living video situation where they have iconic images of Dolly, the beginning of her career and kind of like how she got started, her recording in the studio and things like that. And they have like little historic things like, you could say, this is where she recorded her first album. This is where she was on TV for the first time. And they kind of show the history. And one of the things they had was, I guess, the coat that her mom made for her. The coat of many colors that my mama made for me was like actually there.
Yes.
And then you forget that they made it for her. She made that coat for her when she was like, I guess like 3 or 4.
She was going to school.
Yeah.
So I think she was like, if my memory serves me right, it might have been around 7.
7.
Yeah. But it was such a cute coat.
Like, it looked like an American Girl doll coat. It was so, literally, I'm not kidding. You can't see my hands if you're listening, but it literally was like this big. It was probably like from my sternum to my head. It was very tiny. And you're like, is this like a recreation or something? Nope, that was the real coat. One, yeah. It was pretty cool.
There was like a couple things that were like not perfectly even, so I think it was literally the real one. It was so cute. Yeah. And then both of us went into the like Hall of Fame picture thing, and we were like, I was like, what did I say? I said, I don't see any pictures of Kenny Rogers, as I was standing literally right in front of her and Kenny Rogers. No. Like 2 of them. And then you're like, I don't see any of her and Miley, as you were like literally like
isn't her goddaughter Miley? Where's Miley? Like, I've like never asked that question in my life before. I mean, it's not that I'm not a Miley fan. I mean, I like her enough, but I was like, where is she?
Yeah.
And then you like turn around, Ren. I'm like, oh my god, she's at the center of this whole like, photo.
But I was no better, so I can't even say anything. I was no better.
It was really cool.
Yeah. We had a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. We had a lot of fun. And it was my kids' first time, and it was the first time that I ever done just a vacation with just my son and daughter. You guys got to include, I've taken Kingston plenty of places, but not Kingston and Joel's, you know. And so I think we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun to see them like bond. Like, it was so cute when they would run ahead of us, and like you see them like they were like looking at
taking
photos,
Instagram pictures,
doing TikToks together, and then they got their face painted together. That was so cute because it was gonna be like a challenge, and they wanted to do that TikTok challenge where you pick one. Yeah. And I think Kingston ended up getting like a Fred Durst like goatee. Just the goatee painted on him. Yeah. And then he just walked around Dollywood, and everyone who worked there was like, oh my god. People were taking selfies with him. People were like, oh my god, this is like so cool. They like lit up the world. It was so
really
cute.
It was fun. It was a lot of fun. Yeah. And it was like chilly, but not too hot, not too cold though, you know what I mean? There was times we had to put on a jacket, and the rain would come down, and I would pull all my hair. They tease me because I put all my hair into a baseball cap just to keep it from the rain.
That's pretty smart though.
Yeah, I was just trying to hold the style a little bit. You know, I
never thought about that, like style protection during the rain. Like,
yeah, that's all I was doing.
I need to start doing that. My dad had afro, so I need to start. I mean, I saw you do it, and I was like, maybe I should try it. And then I did it, and then I took my hair down. I was like, oh my god, there is something here. This is like a thing. This is a good idea.
Okay. So I did it. I look like Hot Mess Express. She does it. It's all cute. Her little curls are all off to the side, all feminine and sweet looking. And I'm like, here I am, ready to rock the boy band.
I know. I'm here. I couldn't see. I just shoved all my hair up in the hat.
Yeah.
And then we rode some rides. And here's the thing. Like, I forgot. I mean, I guess in my memory, in my mind's eye, because we lived in Tennessee for like, my family and I, like, for about 4 years. And we went to Dollywood a handful of times, but it was like, I guess like I don't remember the rides being like thrilling. They were. I just remember like there was a train ride. There was like
we did the train ride. That was fun.
We did the train ride. Mm-hmm. And then I remember like just like some kiddie rides. Y'all, Dollywood is like giving Six Flags and Universal some competition. There were some like serious thrill rides.
There were some good rides.
There was one that had like 4 loops, and you went like 4 upside down loops.
That was the Eagle.
That one was awesome.
Loved that ride.
Oh my gosh, that was so cool.
It was my favorite ride. Kingston and I's favorite ride. Mm-hmm. We wanted to go on it multiple times, and we did. And we got to just walk on. Sometimes not even get off the ride. We just like could go straight on.
Yeah, because there wasn't a lot of people there, and even the ride techs were like, please just get back on. Please just get back on. Let us just go. And I wish I would have asked them who they were, but when you guys were going on one ride, before I knew that I was going to go on that ride, you guys were on it, and I was waiting for y'all to get off, and I was going to get back on. While I was in line in the queue, there apparently, I made the assumption, was like a roller coaster enthusiast group that was there in town.
Oh yeah.
And they were like, oh, I got to get the GoPro. I got to go. I got to do my round.
Yeah.
And so each of them was doing a round, I guess, for their YouTube or for their TikTok. I really wish I would have asked them, but I didn't want to be like, hey guys, you know what I mean? Because I was just sitting there on my phone, and I wasn't meaning to, but I just overheard everything they were talking about, and I wanted to turn around and be like, hey, are you a roller coaster enthusiast group?
Let's go. We want to go with you.
Oh, you're my friend. So I wanted to be like, oh my God, tell me more. Like, can we tag you and stuff? Like, if we post anything?
Tell me more. Tell me more.
Let's see your videos. I probably need like.
We have a car.
I need to set my engagement with that kind of with real people versus online.
That's right. It's not Greasewood. It's Dollywood. Never mind. Just kidding.
Greasewood. That's awesome. I mean, hey, I feel like an Olivia Newton-John theme park would be kind of cool.
Oh, yeah.
Could you imagine, like, there'd be, like, a Xanadu ride?
Well, and what about, like, a Grease Lightning ride?
Grease Lightning ride?
Grease Lightning!
Yeah. I feel like an Olivia Newton-John park would be... I love John Travolta, but I feel like if I had the choice between a John Travolta theme park and Olivia Newton-John theme park, I'd go with Olivia.
I don't know.
Out of the two.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Saturday Night Fever.
True.
You got some good movies going from...
Face Off?
Yeah.
What if Face Off was a coaster? Oh my gosh, that would be so intense. Okay, yeah. You might be onto something there.
Yeah, John Travolta, I mean, he's got some good stuff. Mm-hmm. He's got some... I don't know.
Yeah, he does.
I think we could have had a good time on John Travolta, too.
That'd be awesome. And then we did, let's see, okay, so the only... can't believe I'm gonna say this. The only criticism I would ever give to our experience, and I mean, is this. We had heard tale of the food at Dollywood.
Yes.
We had heard...
Yeah, I was wondering where you're going with this.
Tall tale of food at Dollywood. We had seen the videos. We had seen the clips. We were so excited.
Heard about the drinks.
Heard about it all. So excited.
Yeah.
Girl, we get there.
Well, I mean...
wasn't bad.
To Dolly's excuse, I think we're two California girls, so when we hear their specialized drinks, we're thinking they're going to be alcoholic, and there were non-alcoholic ones that we never tried.
It was a clean wood. Dolly was a clean wood.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think maybe. But yeah, the food... I mean, the food wasn't bad per se, but I was hoping for something like... I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what I was hoping for. We didn't go to the restaurant, so we can't really judge. But
yeah, we did like walk-up counter mostly.
I mean, the restaurants, that's the one place that was busy. Mm-hmm. Every time we tried to go to a restaurant, they were busy. Mm-hmm. So we were like, forget this. We're doing the rides. Because they did close the park for a little bit due to the weather. And so I think there was some moments where it was just like, I mean, I have a 14-year-old. I got to get him on the rides. I wanted him to enjoy everything, feel like he experienced everything and have a good time. Mainly, I just wanted my kid to have a good time. So I was trying to get him out. But so we didn't do any of the restaurants. But
that was the only criticism. Yeah. Like, it was like, honestly, outside of that, take everything like that out. Yeah. It was amazing. Yeah. And... we also went to the bakery. There was like a bakery and a candy store. Now, that was pretty awesome. Well,
before we did that, we did, what was it called? The Milgrist or something? Or that had the bread? The cinnamon bread?
Yes. The, was it cinnamon bread?
Yes, which was amazing.
Mm-hmm. That was great. They were like turning and baking and turning and baking.
Yeah,
and
that was really good. That was
and
really
it was a
good
whole
bread.
operation. Like, we're like, we're going to walk in and get the cinnamon bread.
Yeah.
And we walk in, and it was like the FBI or something. We get in there, we're like, hey, we like some cinnamon bread. And the person was like, whoa. Did you...
You're not allowed in here.
You can't come in here. Did you put an order in?
No.
Like, an order? Yes, you have to place your order outside, around the corner, 40 feet this way. And we're like, no, we didn't do that. And I'm like, okay, I guess we got to do that. So we had to find that place.
Yeah.
And it was very odd. It looked almost like a line queue for a ride. And there was someone sitting there with like a little computer, and they put your order in, put it all in.
Poor kid,
and went back in.
I think he was new, and we were like giving him a run for his money.
Shocker.
He's like, this job's not worth it. I quit.
God bless anybody going into any type of labor force the first time. We love you. We support you. We raise you up.
Yeah.
But we finally go back in with our little number, and then they were like, oh my gosh, you're back. And there was like this lady that was working, a young lady that was there. She was amazing.
Yeah.
She was so sweet.
She hooked us up with the good bread too.
She hooked us up with the good bread.
Or she just flirted with everybody like that. She was like, I got you. I'll hook you up with the good bread.
She was so sweet. She might say that to everybody, but it made us feel special. So
we felt special though. We loved it. We appreciated it. The bread was good.
Mm-hmm. It was.
Yeah. Did you guys eat yours?
Yeah, we tried it. It was good. It's kind of like a cinnamon roll without like the work, if that makes sense.
That cinnamon sugar on the bottom is like bomb.com.
Like we heated up in the toaster oven. That was good.
Yeah.
That was very good.
They really go heavy on the cinnamon sugar at the bottom, and that was like amazing. Brought me back to my childhood a little bit, you know, cinnamon toast. You guys ever make that? Did you make cinnamon toast?
Mm-mm. Tell us all about your childhood memories.
My mom wasn't big on buying dessert, so we had to make dessert. So a lot of our after-school snacks consisted of, like, cooked tortillas on a, you know, grill, like, on a stovetop that was with gas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yum.
With butter on it. So dang good. Or... if we had a sweet tooth, it would be like cinnamon toast. You guys didn't make cinnamon toast? You know the cereal, Cinnamon Toast Crunch? That's where they get it from. Cinnamon toast. Yep, that's all we had. We'd make our own little cinnamon sugar, you know, so you'd have to like put it in your little shaker. You'd put your cinnamon in your sugar and you'd butter your toast and you'd like sprinkle it over it.
Actually sounds pretty good, actually.
Please tell me if there are any other listeners who
please
have
email
made
us.
the same exact after-school snack and dessert.
Yes, unbridledthoughts143@gmail.com. Please let us know. Pop up.
Please let us know that I'm not the only one.
Okay, so you want to hear my mom's? So my mom's my mom grew up in the projects of Charlotte.
You're right. There is heat coming off this.
I told you.
Okay.
Not my mom. The fireplace behind us. So
there's heat coming off her mom too.
So my mom grew up in the projects of Charlotte. I don't even know if they're there anymore. They're like they've built up Charlotte so big now, but at the time
I've
she
never
did.
been, so.
And so like they were. It was literally like a Dolly Parton situation. Like she would tell me stories about how she would be so hungry, and she would ask my aunt for an apple. And her sister, all they had was like potatoes. So my aunt would like peel a potato and hand it to her and say, just pretend it's an apple. Aww. It was like that kind of, it was, yeah. So she would go on and on about snow cream. And we were like, what is snow cream? And she was like, oh my gosh, it's the best. When it was snow, and when we were like little, and we were like so excited. And we grew up in Southern California, so there was no snow. So like, we have no access to the snow cream. What is a snow cream?
This sounds amazing.
It would snow, and we would me and your auntie, my sister, and my brother. We collect the snow cream in a bowl. And we break it in. And we make snow cream, and we're like, "What is it?" And she's like, "You take the snow and you do a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of sugar, and it's so good." And we were like, "Oh my God, this sounds awesome!" When we moved to Tennessee for 4 years, it actually would snow mostly in the winter.
Yeah.
We were so excited. We're like, "Mom, make the snow cream." She was like, "All right, I'm gonna do it. I'm making your snow cream." And so she was so excited. She'd go get the bowl, go get the snow. She'd give us a bowl, put the snow in there. She put some vanilla extract. She put a little bit of sugar. We were so excited. We went and took a bite. Girl, that stuff tasted like awful. We're like, what is this? It just tasted like vanilla extract and water and like what? And she's like, we thought it was so magical. I don't like it. And I thought maybe I was being like picky. But we had some family that still live in Tennessee, and they made the snow cream.
Oh my gosh!
And you see them like do like a little video, and like you see the kiddos like try it for the first time. And they're like, I mean, it's alright. Like we go to the store get some vanilla ice cream. Yeah. But it is tradition. You have to try it at least once.
Well,
especially if you're
Southern. I grew up in mountains with snow, and I've never tried it.
Snow cream.
I've never tried the snow cream.
Did you have that? You had the yellow cream, yellow snow.
That's one lesson I know in life, and I'll still continue carrying that one on. Do not eat the yellow snow.
Don't touch it.
But fresh snow is good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, fresh snow is very, very. I mean, it tastes great. Like especially freshly fallen.
Yeah,
it is. It's like very like cold and crunchy and good.
Yeah,
especially when it's falling, catch it on your
like
tongue.
Asphalt a little bit.
Shit, asphalt? Just making sure you said asphalt.
Tastes like asphalt a little bit. I thought I said something else, huh?
No, I didn't think you said anything else. Just asphalt.
All right, back to Dollywood. What was your favorite ride?
So I love the wooden coaster. I can't remember what it was called. That was so fun.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah. That was a lot of fun. It was a lot smoother than I thought it was going to be. You know, because I've been to Magic Mountain, and Magic Mountain, some of those wooden coasters, I mean, they would really like jerk you around the whole entire time, you know. But that one was so smooth and it went so fast.
Well, and also like one of my favorite memories of like wooden coasters was Chris and I were riding on one together. Like it was like, I think we were like had been dating for a while, and either we were dating forever and about to get married, or we were married. And it was out in California. I think it was like Knott's Berry Farm. Oh, was it Knott's Berry Farm?
Ghost Rider.
Yeah, Ghost Rider. We're on Ghost Rider, which is like this old wooden coaster.
It's first rickety, time we were together. Too.
Yeah, it's pretty rickety.
Yeah.
And for some reason, the way we sat, Chris ended up being like in the internal side of the cart, and I was on the external cart. Well, you know, they take these turns. They take these corners so sharp and so fast.
Yeah.
So it's like a real tight turn. So, you know, if you're in a car and you take a tight turn, everyone like kind of goes in the direction of the turn. So on the cart, we take these like tight turns, and like our bodies would just move, and you could tell he was just like, ugh.
Yeah.
And so I would look over and see him, he'd be like, making these faces while it was happening, like,
yeah.
And I would just start laughing. I could not stop laughing. So every time I'm on a wooden coaster, they just make me laugh. Every time I think of that, and it was like the best memory. It makes me laugh so hard. So wooden coasters make me laugh so hard.
I kind of did that with Kingston, because at one time it like went through, and I was like, could not get myself like up, you know, I was like way down. I was like, oh,
you're like a bug on a windshield. And I promise y'all, the whole time I had my arm there, and I was trying to like push myself away. Oh, Thunderhead.
Thunderhead is what it's called.
Thank you, producer. I will do my arm like this. Like I'm like, let me hold myself. I mean, it is such a tight turn. It's like, like you're like pulling yourself towards the other side.
And you got to ride with Kingston for the first time too on that ride.
I did. Yeah. He was laughing at how much I was laughing.
Yes.
It was so fun.
I laugh so. I mean, that's all I do is laugh at all those things. I just laugh so hard.
They're awesome.
And Chris and I went on some together for the first time, so we got to go on experience some roller coasters for the first time.
Yep, and then you faced a personal fear that while we were there too.
Okay, y'all.
Time for deep thoughts with Sarah.
Very first time I've ever.
With Sarah.
Very first time I ever went to Magic Mountain, my dad took me with one of his girlfriends, and I don't even know who it was, but my memory is that we went to Magic Mountain. We were having a good old time, and then he took me on the Tweety Bird one, where you go up in the Tweety Bird cage, and then it like drops you, and then it like goes back up, and it drops you, and it goes back up, and it drops you, and like I always had a hard time switching from house to house. So like when I would leave my mom's, I would cry, you know, and then I'd get with my dad and I'd be fine. And then I'd leave my dad's and I'd cry, and I'd get with my mom and I'd be fine. But when I was with that other parent, I typically did not think of the other parent, not to be mean or anything to my mom and my dad. I love them both. But like, you know, you're just kind of enjoying the time with the parent that you're with, right? And I mean, I may think of my dad a little bit more because I was with my mom longer, you know what I mean? So I'd start thinking about my dad, missing my dad, like, after so long. But anyways, so my dad takes me to Magic Mountain, and he's like, let's go on Tweety Bird. And I told him, I was like, I don't think I like to fall. Like, I just don't think I like falling. And this is coming from a girl who has always wanted to go skydiving, like, her entire life. I don't know why I want to fall out of a plane, but yet I can't fall in Tweety Bird's cage. So we go up in it. And I just remember laying at the bottom of the cage in front of everybody that was there, and that we were packed Tweety Bird cage, just screaming, I want my mom! Get me off this ride! I want my mom! And ever since then, I've been afraid of like any kind of ride that like drops. I can do all rides except for the spinny ones that make you sick, and the ones that drop. And by lots of peer pressure from my 14-year-old and by Chris, I ended up going on the falling one. I don't even know what it was called. The producer's working on it, but I went on it. I went up, and Kingston's afraid of heights. So I'm sitting between Chris and Kingston. We get up there, and they're just like sitting us up there for, I don't have my glasses on, so
drop line.
Drop line.
Drop line.
Okay. Drop line is what it's called.
Drop liner.
you're sitting up there for literally ever.
Oh, there's no chill on this thing.
Yeah, but
you're up sitting really high.
You're sitting up so high, and they have you up there. They kind of spin you around so you can kind of see the whole. They have you up there for a long time, and it was just like you're just anticipating, like, when is this thing gonna drop? When is this thing gonna drop? I just curled my whole entire body in. I got this sense in my gut, like, okay, they're gonna. Well, I heard it lock. I heard like the lock come undone or whatever it was that releases, and I was like, here it comes. Just like held on, and we dropped. And then when I dropped, I was like, that was it. That really wasn't that bad. Like, now I kind of want to go on more. I mean, it was actually a lot of fun. You get like a great lay of the land. You get to see the scenery, and the dropping was a lot of fun. So now I'm ready to go on more dropping ones.
Well, now I have to go on the next one with you.
I faced the fear. Yep, faced the fear. And that was tough. That's one of my biggest fears that I've held on to. Other than spiders, I think everybody should have a healthy fear of spiders, though, because those jerks will get in your bed when you're sleeping, okay? I feel like we should all have a nice, healthy fear of spiders.
Good night, everybody.
But other than that, I don't really fear a lot. So I face that fear. Other than spiders, I fear nothing.
Yeah.
And God. I do fear God. Number one.
I know. Next job ride, I'll have to go on there with you.
You think you can handle it?
What to see?
You think you're gonna pass out?
I do pass out. You can ask my sister. It's happened. There's like an adrenaline rush, and I like the drop happened. Chris has seen it. The drop happens. Last time I did it was at Six Flags over Georgia. They do the drop, and like right when it drops, I literally like slump over and pass out for a second. It's like so scary. I'm not a pass out person. I'm not a fainter, nothing like that. But I guess it's so much adrenaline that my body just like shut down. Can't
of course,
process.
This one tells me that right when I'm about to go do the ride. She's like, yeah, I can't do it because I pass out. And then I'm thinking, whole entire time, I'm like, she's buckling me in, and I'm like, what are the odds I'm going to pass out?
Yeah.
How many people pass out on this ride?
But you're in a harness. I mean, it's like basically you're a grown up like in a stroller strapped in. Like that's what kind of what it feels like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think honestly, I'm going to be honest with y'all. The scariest experience. I guess there's two. The scariest experiences I've ever had on a ride is we were on the Batman ride at Six Flags one time, and it's going up the hill, and there's two emotions I don't do great with. One is anticipation. I just have a hard time sitting in anticipation. It is a little hard for me.
Me too.
Like,
because I'm not patient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like waiting for something to happen. Yeah. Waiting for the thing to happen. I'm like, okay. Like the more I'm in it, the more I'm like, oh, what's going to happen? So like the click, click, click going up, or like you're up, you're about to drop, those things I'm like, I don't like it. But if it just happens, it's okay. Like, or even drop rides that are enclosed, it's not that big of a deal for me because it's like, oh, I don't have to look down and wait.
Yeah.
So we were on the Batman ride, and it went click, click, click up to the top, click, click, click over the hill, click, click, click. It's about to drop you down this like steep hill. Get stuck.
Oh, that's like my worst nightmare.
And it was one of those coasters where your feet are just dangling.
Yeah.
And it's got like this big, huge plastic cod piece. That's all that's holding you up. Yeah. Then the harness.
I've been on that ride. I know what you're talking about.
We were stuck. And I was like, okay.
Were you flying through Gotham City?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like on a
stuck.
swing. Yeah.
And I was like, all right, we're only going to be stuck for a minute. I was like, okay. Then it was like 10 minutes go by.
Yeah.
After 10 minutes, I looked at Chris. I was like, I was like, there's a platform here with stairs to get off. Can we just go? Right around that time, they send this like 15-year-old kid up there. God bless him. And he had to walk these like metal stairs up to get to the top. He's like, hey guys. And we're like, hey. He's like, hey, just stay here, okay? You just gotta stay here. You can't get off and you can't move, and it's gonna get started back, okay? And he's like breathing all heavy, and we're like, just walked up all these stairs, and we're like, okay, well, and I asked him, I was like, can I just get off? He goes, no, ma'am. no, ma'am, you can't get off. You're going to have to stay on. I was like, can you unlock me? She's like, no, ma'am. Okay, you just stay on. I'm like, what else are we going to do?
Yeah.
Just sit tight? Well, just sit tight, okay? And I'm like, okay. And he goes back down. And we literally sat there for another 10 minutes. I thought, I was like,
oh my gosh.
Can you just like back it up maybe? Nothing.
You know what? Thank God you were sitting there. Could you imagine if you were just like at the tip of like about to go down and then you're like stuck at that and you're just like staring going down for all that time? We were. That would be.
That's where we were. It was right before they were going to drop us. The other one was I rode that Harry Potter ride.
That's a fun ride at Universal.
It's oh yeah.
Is it the broomstick ride or is it the other one?
Maybe the broomstick ride.
I never got to go on the one where you ride the little motorcycle thing. What's that one called?
Haggard.
Yeah, Haggard. I never got to go on Haggard.
Oh, well, thank you. That's one of the best ones.
Yeah. We got stormed out, so we never got to go on it. But I've been on the broomstick one, and that is one of my favorite rides.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see how it can make you sick. Yeah, but
I love it.
I loved it.
Oh, I love it too. I mean, I've been on it since.
I like all the rides that mess with your senses, and that was like they had a minor ride, and so it's like they're blowing heat at you, they're like putting wind at you, they're making you do all sorts of things. You didn't get to go on that one. You were busy doing something else, so you didn't get to go on that one.
At Universal?
No, on Dollywood.
Oh yeah.
But the Batman one I always loved too because the same thing as you're going through Gotham City, they're like blowing. Heat at you and like different scents and stuff like that. Thing. Yeah, they're doing the full sensory thing, and that was how that minor one was too, which was really good. But okay, back to your.
Oh, that was so. It's like a 3D ride. There's screens, like little. They're circular.
Yeah,
and that's where the images is projected onto.
Yeah.
And you're in a harness.
Yeah.
And it's like this kind of crane thing on a track, and it's moving you and kind of like claw, like going like this. All right, so.
It's like Peter Pan a little bit.
It is like Peter Pan, yeah.
Disney.
So we were moving and grooving, and all of a sudden we stop. Yeah. And I stop right in front of the screen. Everything shuts down. All the lights go off, and I'm just looking at the screen. The screen is like this, I guess like a concave, kind of a circle.
Yeah.
I cannot see anything out of my peripheral. I'm just staring into this white abyss.
Yeah.
Just me. Chris is on the edge. Everybody else is on the edge. They can kind of see the floor. They can kind of see out to the side.
You can't see nothing, huh?
You hear my guy go, "Hey, y'all, just gotta sit tight. You gotta just sit tight for just 15 minutes. We'll get you going, okay? We're gonna get you activated." And we're like, okay. And so we're just sitting there waiting, and 15 minutes go by.
Nothing.
20 minutes go by.
Yep.
Nothing. Okay, so. For some reason, I'm like, I have nowhere to stare but into this like abyss of white. And I start freaking out. My brain starts freaking out. I start having a panic attack. I promise there's a point to this.
It's the overthinking.
I get overthinking and anticipation, but I get so agitated I have to call my sister.
Yeah.
God bless my sister. She actually is getting her master's in social work now, so she can have her own therapy practice.
Yeah.
So thank God for my...
Did she talk you off the wall?
Oh, she did. And I like pulled my phone out, like, my little T-Rex arms and my little like stroller cooking, and I'm like, I'm telling her, I was like, I just need to talk to you. I need to hear your voice. She's like, okay. Come to find out, apparently, there is a phenomenon with this, where when people are out in like the snow for long periods of time, where it's nothing but white, you'll have hallucinations. And I did not know this.
Red room.
You can induce hallucinations on your own.
Yeah.
And you can recreate it.
Yeah.
By taking white ping pong balls and taping them to your eyes.
Yeah.
And then having a ring light like this shine through.
Yeah.
And you just sit back and relax. And it recreates, they call it snow something.
Yeah.
Where if you're looking into nothing but like just a bright white concave shape, it'll induce like hallucinations in your brain. So apparently that's what was happening.
What's it called? Snow what? Snow White?
I don't know.
White Snow?
Google it.
The Shining? Red Room?
Red Rum?
Red Rum?
Red Room?
Red Room?
Red Room!
He's like, you're not even saying it right.
But
go home, be your drunk.
Will look it up for us. But that was my only other scary ride. Other than that, I love rides. I'll get on rides any day.
Yeah, you didn't have any. I mean, you and I were like all day long. We were like, we can go on these rides all day long. Yeah,
I love it.
We had a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. We did have a lot of fun. We did. I did have a little panic attack going home because I had to go home to like no water, cabinets melting away because I'm redoing a old house and couldn't get anybody to come do any plumbing where I live. So that was an issue. Yeah. But we're good. Mm-hmm. Plumbing is fixed. Cabinets are not fixed yet. We're getting there. Yeah. Stay tuned. Watch our social media. I'm sure you'll get updates.
Yeah, everything's an opportunity. For the right thing.
For the right thing. Mm-hmm. Everything is an opportunity. Mm-hmm. I think that's about it. What else do we do? No? Producer Chris says there's more. But wait.
You got to tell the story how y'all couldn't get a hold of me the night before because y'all thought I was dead.
Oh, that's kind of a big story.
Yeah. Okay, so I will say this. I'm not dismissing that. We're going to
end on a positive note, though. Yeah. I'm going to talk about something else. But the negative note was... Where's Chris?
Hashtag find Chris. It's a big hashtag. I did not realize. I typed it in when I was like tagging like one of our posts. Yeah. He was like in the background. I was like, hashtag find Chris, because he likes to use that for his social media. Apparently, I touched it just to see what would come up. All these pictures of my husband. It was amazing.
What? This is like a real thing?
It's a real thing. Hashtag find Chris. Because he goes to concerts and shows all the time. Yeah. And people will post photos of the audience and he'll find himself, but then he'll reshare it and say hashtag find Chris. And his friends and other people will show like,
this is awesome.
Find him. And they'll be like,
because I put hashtag find Chris on that video I made. I didn't even know about this story.
It's like a whole thing. It's awesome. So I will say this. We ended up booking a cabin.
The cabin was amazing. We didn't talk about the cabin either, but before we'll talk about Chris.
Yeah, the company was called Cabins USA, I think.
Something like that.
We'll have to add a link or something so y'all can. It was beautiful. Yeah, it was affordable. It was amazing. It was like three adults, 2 kiddos. It was great. Everybody had their own floor. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was amazing. And it was affordable for a family. Yeah. Beautiful views of the Smokies. Had all these cool amenities. So that's where we ended up staying. And I can't remember why. You were coming up later.
He went to an event before, like, that night. And then we all came up together. The 4 of us. Me and my 2 kids and you. Mm-hmm. And then we were, like, waiting. And he's like, I should be right behind you. I should be showing up at this time.
And we're like, at the birthday party in North Atlanta.
I think it was like 12:30. We're like, okay, no Chris. Let's try to call Chris, and it like goes straight to voicemail. Yeah, and let's call Chris.
He
straight
sent
to
a pin where he was. He sent a screenshot.
He must have done that to you.
Yeah, he looked up where he was going to be on Waze and sent a screenshot. Hey, it looks like I'm going to get here at like this time, like 2:00 in the morning, and I could see on the screenshot, like, how long it was going to take. Okay, he's going to be here around 2. So we're like, okay, cool. Well, it starts to get close to 2, and I start being like, okay, I wonder where he is. So I call him, hey, where are you? No ringing. It goes straight to voicemail. I'm like, uh-oh, that's not good. So, like, 20 minutes later, I call him again. Straight to voicemail. And then I hear, hey, y'all, you just gotta wait 15 minutes. We'll get you off the ride.
Shut up.
I'm sorry, I'm just kidding. So then I'm like, okay, maybe I need to be a little worried because, and I'm not usually in a position where
She's
I'm
trying to talk herself off the wall. And then I'm like, hey, should we be worried about Chris? Because I don't talk myself off of any walls. If I'm going for something, we're going 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, Sarah's, at this point, she's about to go to bed up like on her own floor. And I'm down there on the first floor. And I get a text from her. I'm like, should I be worried? And I get a text from Sarah like, are you worried? And I'm like, yes, I'm a little worried. I'm like, oh, no. So both of us try to call him. Sarah finally gets through. It turned out the way he came was opposite of us. And he actually had to drive through the Smoky Mountains and had no cell coverage. And he said it was like pitch black. He couldn't see anything. Yeah. And he can usually see pretty good at night, but it was like very treacherous.
I only actually called to be like, Yeah, Ren kept calling, and every single time it would, like, go straight to voicemail. And I had tried calling, it went straight to voicemail, like, seconds before that. But I was talking to Jules. We were laying there in bed doing, like, the girl talk thing, you know what I mean? So we're just, like, laying there, and I'm like, yeah, Chris isn't here yet, and he was supposed to be here, like, 30 minutes ago. Starting to get a little bit worried about him. And she's like, should we be concerned? I'm like, yeah, I think we should be concerned. That's when I texted you.
Yeah.
And then I was like, we were just chatting, so I was like, well, let me show you what it does whenever it goes, you know, like, what happens. She's like, well, what does it do? And I'm like, well, let me show you what it does. And she's over here being like, maybe he lost battery. And I'm like texting her, I'm like, no, when he did send that screenshot.
The screenshot
of the time.
Waze. And when he sent the screenshot,
shows that he had it charging, his phone charging.
And he had like 70% battery.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, oh, his phone's not
like,
dead.
there's no way it could be dead, you know? So I'm like, okay, Jules, let me show you what it does. And it's all ring. And he's like, hello? I'm like, oh, hey.
I'm like, oh my God.
I'm like, we've been worried about you, but I'm glad you're alive, because I was too tired to go looking for you. I'd be like, I'm sorry, that's tomorrow's problem.
Well, and that was the thing is, like, at that point in time, before Sarah and I had texted each other, I was getting kind of worried, and I figured that Sarah and everybody else was asleep. So I actually was going to, like, go up there, get Sarah's keys, and hop in your car and just start driving in that direction. Just seeing if I could find him or something. Because I didn't know if I should call somebody. I would not have let you do that, because who knows where that would end up. No offense. I love you to death, but... Then I'd have Red and Chris missing. We're like, we have no car. I have no car. For some reason, she felt like she should take my phone. I'm like creating my own scary story up here. So I'm starting to see billboards for, like, the Carolinas. Like, did you guys have you seen Chris?
No, you have my phone.
Yeah, it was fun.
We're stuck in the Tennessee mountains all alone.
Yeah, we all made it. Everybody was fine.
Yeah, we all made it. Had a good time in Dollywood. The cabin was beautiful. It was 4 stories. I've never stayed at a 4-story place. I've heard about it. I mean, other than like motels and stuff like that. But this was like 4 open stories where you can climb the stairs and go to them all together. That top story was an outside, like, oh my gosh, the most beautiful views. I will be posting them on my social media, the videos I took. And it had a hammock. I woke up. I couldn't sleep. So we went up there Saturday night, and then we left for Dollywood Sunday, and then Monday when we came home, I woke up at like 5 in the morning like I do, and I didn't want to wake up Jules, so I went ahead and like went out to the hammock. I laid out there. It was like raining. It was so pretty. You could see the view of the Smoky Mountains. They had like wooden Jenga out there. They had a TV. They had
cornhole boards, a whole outdoor seating, like a whole outdoor sectional
that had Kingston on it, which is the name of my son. So that felt like fun.
Yeah.
And the beds were nice, and each room had its own bathroom, which was really nice. And then, what am I? Oh, remember when we couldn't find it though? Yeah.
So here's the thing.
And we went up that steep mountain, and I'm like, oh, thank the Lord, this isn't where our place is.
In Chris's defense, this area of Gatlinburg, is that what Pigeon Forge? Pigeon Forge is not a big believer of street lights. Once you get residential, no street lights.
Yeah.
Nary a street light.
I think it's the South in general, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was literally pitch black everywhere we went. Like, I had to turn my brights on, and then I had to turn my brights on, and even then you really couldn't see a lot.
Yeah.
So, I mean, thank God I, like, work in a spa and I work in the dark. So I've got pretty good eyesight at night, but still, even then, it was like we were cruising, moving through like nice and slow. Where is everything? I think we passed our cabin like twice or 3 times
No, just once.
Oh, maybe in my mind.
Because we missed it once, and we went all the way to the very top because we were, if you guys know me, my number is 43, okay? There's a whole story behind it, but my number is 43. And our cabin happened to be cabin number 43. And so we look over and we see like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're like, okay, we need to keep going up. It's going to be higher up. So we're going up and up and up. Of course, they did give us a map and they gave us directions. So if the dumb blonde and the redhead would have actually like read the map directions, we would have found it fast.
And we did. Eventually we did. We're like, oh, look.
So we go all the way to the top, and the top was like 42 or something like that. And I'm like, where the hell is this 43? I guess we're going back down. And we went back down. Cave.
It's down there.
Yeah, we went back down.
You gotta push the button.
Literally, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And in front of that was 43 and 44. I don't know how they did their math, but we're feeling it. We're feeling it.
Yeah.
They must have built those on the very last. They're like, well, we ran out of numbers. That's 43.
Here's 43.
I think probably somewhere else, maybe they would have made it like 0 and 00 or something like that. I don't know.
You on cabin 00.
That sounds like fun though.
But overall it was a really good experience. I love Pigeon Forge. It is a lot of fun. There's people from all over the world.
I had a positive story and I can't remember what it was now. Everybody's looking at me in shock. I don't know why you can't. I mean, Sarah doesn't usually remember anything, so why are we shocked about this? But I had a positive story. I said I was going to end it on a positive story, and I can't remember what it was.
Oh, we'll think of it.
Dang it, Jim. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Well, me not dying is a positive story.
That's right, yeah.
Well, you had we were talking
Chris not dying was a positive story.
We were talking about the flooding, plumbing, the cabin.
There was a story that I thought of, and I was like, oh, I'll end this on a positive story. And then I was like, oh, the cabin was really nice too, and that was a positive story too. Mm-hmm. I cannot remember. I don't know. I'll put it in the notes of when I remember it. So eventually this brain will catch up. It's been a long day too, by the way. It is late here, and we have worked and done all of our other jobs, our real jobs, the ones that make money.
But overall it was a good experience. That's the thing is it's a really cool area. There's like really cool stuff. There's like a Titanic recreation.
Pigeon Forge in general, that was my first time. I've been to Gatlinburg, but I've never been to Pigeon Forge. Mm-hmm. I want to go back so bad. There was so much fun. And just being up in Tennessee, it's just so beautiful. I'm from the mountains. And when I'm not in the mountains, I forget how much I love the mountains. Because I grew up, lived my whole entire life in the mountains. My escape was the beach. So I still think to this moment, like, I'm like, oh, I got to escape. I'm going to escape to the beach. But then the mountains, when we were up in the mountains, I forgot how much I love the mountains. Mm-hmm. And it was the Smoky Mountains are the most beautiful, most magical place you could ever be in your life, I think, for sure.
I do too.
It's really bugging me with that, what my positive story was at the very end.
It'll come to you.
I don't remember. Mm-hmm. I don't remember, folks. I'll have to put it in the notes.
Yeah.
I didn't take any notes for this. We just kind of on the fly. We're like, let's talk about our Dollywood story. So we're just kind of winging it tonight.
We can pause it and like think of it and come back. We can
piece together the information. Just like shut off the note.
We can.
Producer Chris says,
we can
roll with it. Mm-hmm. Roll. There's a song. What's the song? Roll with it. How does it go? Roll with it, baby. We gotta roll with it, baby. Here we go. We're rolling. Oh, that's the only rolling one I can think of. Rolling. Rolling
with the homies.
Ooh, yeah. Rolling with the homies. That's one of my favorite.
Mm-hmm. Wait, was that a real song? I thought they just said that in Clueless.
They probably did. Just saying.
No,
Clueless.
It's a real song.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's a real song. It's part of their soundtrack.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. I can't think of anything else to share. I will put my positive story that I was supposed to end with in the notes when I remember it. It'll be like 3 o'clock in the morning, but you'll get them eventually.
Mm-hmm. But
what's our socials?
Oh, thank goodness we have a producer because he keeps us on track because we won't remember anything. But our socials are
They are Unbridled Thoughts Podcast on all social media platforms. And our email is Unbridled Thoughts Podcast 143.
Unbridled Thoughts 143 at gmail.com.
143 at gmail.com.
Yeah.
So questions, suggestions.
Questions, suggestions.
Ideas.
If you happen to remember my positive story.
Yeah.
Please.
Things you want us to try.
Remind me, because this brain is tired. It's been a long day.
It'll come to you. It'll come.
My supporting cast. All right, guys.
Yep.
Is that a wrap?
Thank you guys so much. That's a wrap.
That's a wrap, baby. That's a wrap.
Yep. We'll see you later.
Bye.